They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 2nd down and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. 2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. A give to Etienne running right. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A give running right, Etienne. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these 2 probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They'll send the tight end in motion left.
Hey, Alpha.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
after the touchdown. Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
A good gain there on 1st down. That run will get him 7 up to the 32-yard line.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Ready.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. A give running left, McAllister.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here's Lawrence.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, stop it.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Going deep here for Allen. This is caught inside the 15. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks. And you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll set up to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Flushed out right. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Here's Jackson to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, the way things have been going in this one, Charles, it was only a matter of time before this defense got involved and made a big play. And they do right there. Gosh, this lead is so large, CD, and we're only in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's so amazing about it. You mentioned this large lead. How's this their first takeaway of the game? And what a spectacular one it was. Adding to the lead, showing the true dominance, and you're exactly right. We're still in the first half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right.
This is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Handoff running left is ETN.
And some room to work. Touchdown, Jaguars.
So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
The extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. He'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
And the pass complete to Waller on the out route.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Back to throw again. And that's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On second down, Jacobs.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
On fourth down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal.
From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Carlson is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Etienne once more. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Finds his tight end Ingram. And he's got some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Come on, get. Lock it. Hit it.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Etienne. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Lawrence will throw.
Screenplay to McAllister.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Draw play. Here's McAllister. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Lawrence on 3rd down.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Touchdown! Hunter Henry, a 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
ETN up the middle.
And some space here. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
182 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
That is caught at the 7. And that's a touchdown, but hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
On the step.
They go play action with Lawrence.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On 2nd and 15 now. Lawrence. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my... says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Trevor Lawrence
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Jaguars up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing.
And my goodness, another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown Raiders. Deshaun Jackson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles.
And now here's another interception.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now on 2nd and 16. Lawrence. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete.
It's a big play there for Vegas.
67 yards. He'll drop to throw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. They'll try to run it with Jacobs. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Lawrence giving to Etienne here on the option.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. Now flags come in before the kick. Clearly there was contact. Who was at fault? Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a fairly dominating performance.